I'll never forget my first introduction to both football, aka soccer, and rugby when I came to England about 15 years ago. And I think my first football match, I was down at Chelsea, and I went in there and I was in the stands, and there was like a 10-year-old kid and his father, and they were yelling things I'd never heard out of anyone's mouth in my life. They were really passionate, yelling, and that was my soccer experience. Then I went to Twickenham, and I remember before the match, people turned around in the stands and were like, good luck to you before the match started. And I'm not saying one was better or worse, but they were very different cultures. Did I get the initial impressions right?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
And you're right in what you're saying. I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think rugby can take the moral high ground above soccer or any other sport, and neither can soccer or football take the moral high ground above rugby or any other sport. They are different sports, and they are a different culture in a lot of them. But one of the true values of rugby, I think, which does set it apart from a lot of the other sports, is its value of respect. So if you went to watch an Arsenal-Chelsea game, for example, here in London, if you were the away supporter, you'd be sitting with the away support. You wouldn't be sitting next door to somebody who was supporting the home team. Whereas in rugby, you pretty much sit wherever you want in the stadium, and you could be sitting amongst the away support. You're supporting your own team, and you can feel safe within that environment. And rugby allows that, because one of the most important values of rugby, its ethos, and its important value is its value of respect. Whether it's respect to players, to match officials, and vice versa. Spectators, able to sit next to each other in the stadium, yet supporting different teams, but able to enjoy each other's company, enjoy the banter, but yet feel safe within that sporting environment. And that's a huge, important part of rugby, I think. And also what rugby does, I think rugby instills in you this value of respect. When you were a young kid growing up, you were taught the values of rugby, to respect the match officials, to be part of the ethos of the team. And it builds you not only the skill as a player, but it builds within you as well the skills of you to become a good person as well. And probably the most important value of that is the value of respect. I think if there's one thing that today's society lacks all over the world, is its value of respect. And rugby upholds a tradition of respect still. And as I said, it can't take the moral high ground, because there are a lot of things that rugby can improve on and do better as well. But when it comes to its value of respect, I think rugby certainly does lead the way in that. And that what makes, as you quite rightly said, when you were in those two different sports, there were two different cultures, and there's a lot of good people in soccer, in football. There's a lot of good people in rugby. There are a few bad people in rugby, but the minority of those bad people are much less in rugby than they are in football. And that's whether it's the culture. It also as well, because football is a massive sport. There are much more people who follow football and watch football and play football than play rugby. So the minority in football is going to be a bigger minority, and that voice becomes bigger as well. So, but there's a lot of great people involved in football as there is in rugby, and we must never lose sight of that, really. But rugby's value of respect is its most important ethos, I think. We must never lose that from the game.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.